is up, everybody? Looks like we are live. How's everybody doing? So today we're going to test each and every car in Assetto Corsa Competizione. We got the Audi, Ferrari, AMG, Porsche 911 GT3 R, Super Trofeo, Huracan, NSX, Lexus RC F, Emil Frey Jag, the Gallardo, the Vantage, I'm excited for that one, Bentley, got two Bentleys, two Nissans, the Cup car, another Bentley, the M6, other GT3, the McLaren, the Huracan. We're going to test them all around Brands Hatch. So, let me finish. Hey Monel, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Just make sure the stream is up and running well. How's everybody doing this morning, / evening, / whatever it is for you? Thanks to everybody that's out there as well for hitting the like button for me. Alright, let's do this. So. Okay. Everything looking good. That's good, sounds good. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to test each of these cars at Brands Hatch. It's a pretty good mix of elevation, some rough stuff, fast corners, slow corners. We're going to go for 5 minutes each-ish, and I put the track state in optimum. Probably going to run default setups. Yeah, that's my mic. I do not know how to deal with it. It's the deal with the thing. Anyways. Alright, I'm a bit quiet. Can turn me up a bit. Yeah, I don't know why the mic picks up that stupid hissing. It just kind of has it. Alright, so this is not like the definitive, this is the best car test. This is kind of just a quick, rough and dirty getting to know each of the cars. They all seem to drive pretty differently. I'm gonna go with the standard safe preset. And maybe we'll switch it up if we need to. So, you know, standard fuel, which is like 62 liters or whatever. So yeah. Alright, let's do it.
Going double file.
Kind of long hold here. Maybe we'll check out some stuff like the low-tech display here. Three pages on the Audi. Got the race logic there. Mapped a button for that as well.
Green light, give it all you can.
Ooh, that roar. Somebody getting a little squirrely around the outside there. Pretty good, got good turn in. so the tires are cold, and brakes are cold as well, so the ABS is kicking in quite heavily. Looks like we're on fuel map 2, which is in the middle there, I believe. Cover off there. Understeer there, but that was probably just me turning in too late. Audi, obviously mid-engined, very, very stable. Driving pretty conservatively. A lot of ABS there. Tires aren't up to pressure either. Fronts. But doesn't have any like really nasty characteristics so far as I can tell. Pretty smooth. AI is freaking quick as always. Oh no!
Got some light damage on the front of the car. We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
That was me being stupid. Not the car. I've noticed in Assetto Corsa Competizione that cars are kind of built like tanks. I guess that's a good and a bad thing. If somebody punts into you, probably not going to kill you, but that means people who spear off into the wall probably aren't gonna die. Back to the back now. Whatever.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Brake too late there. Got into the marbles. Understeer there because of the marbles. Understeer there because of goofing around. Haven't noticed too much traction control kicking in. Seems like the rear end's pretty planted. I don't know. Maybe a bit of steering damage from that spin. But... Hey, what's up, man? Is Max, what's up?
Leaders on final lap.
Didn't notice there was grasscrete out there. That was lucky. Nice, lovely sunset. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can port it over. Probably, personally, gonna say not till next gen of consoles though. Right now, graphically it's pushing a lot of systems. And, well, it's not well optimized at the moment. Head into the darkness here. The sound's just incredible though. Okay, so as one would expect,
You
as
don't
I
finish the race.
can't talk and drive, can I? As we would expect, the Audi, pretty good known quantity. It's pretty universal that the Audi R8 is a pretty stable machine. My driving was mainly the thing that let me down there. It is 2 in the morning here. I'm gonna use that as my excuse. Plus, it sounds nice, so if you care about that,
Alright, checkered flag. Good job. You did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
don't patronize me. Yeah, Audi. Good car, known quantity. I would say if you're starting out in ACC, you can't really go wrong running the Audi. Another car that I have some experience with is, of course, the 488. Let's pop in that. So we're going with the safe preset, you know, just because to keep things standard. Runs quite a bit of rear wing there. Yep, we're live, Jimmy. Testing all of the cars.
Stay in double file.
The Audi also doesn't have the really annoying launch control. Ferrari's got it, a lot of other things have it. I tend to stall a lot of the cars with that launch control system.
Green light. Give it again.
Not as big a fan of the Ferrari engine in terms of sound. Obviously, power-wise, it's quite good. Drivability. Tiny bit of turbo lag there. Hey Danny, what's up, dude? ATMS version 1.0. They say they've updated a lot of things. It looks like there are quite a few updates. What I have to say about it is the driving, like the driving model and driving itself, very good. All the stuff around it, like career mode, things like that, not ready yet. The career mode, you can't save progress like midway through a weekend. So if you do a race weekend, and you do like the practice session, you can't save there. You can't pick up at qualifying or whatever. You have to go through the whole thing. It doesn't save. It saves at the beginning of each weekend, which is really annoying. And there's lots of other little kind of bugs and nagging things that just aren't quite polished the way they should be. Take this third. A little bit of understeer on the default setup, but very stable car. Good on the brakes too. The Audi did have a bit of ABS kicking on the heavy braking. I don't know if it was just the brake ducts. That's something obviously you can tune. Ferrari's got a nice camera, so you can drive no HUD. That's something I like to do.
We're at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Deep there. Hey Ann, what's up? Guys, I promise I will read comments in between cars here. I'm trying to focus a little bit so I can at least get some
Well done, mate. Your fastest step so far.
representative laps in. Got a little bit understeery, too much rear wing probably. The sound of the 488 here is much better. Doing a career right now is going to be difficult because you have to do the whole weekend in one sitting. So if you're doing like the medium distance like I did, that's a 20-minute practice session you can skip. 2 10-minute qualies. And then 2 20-minute sprint races, so you're looking at like a couple hours for one weekend there. It saves in between each weekend. It's full driving. So yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptical as to whether the career mode will
Right, man. Neither is on the final lap.
is, you know, like something you should be doing at the moment. Especially if you like don't have a big chunk of time to sit down with it. There's not a ton to it. It's just kind of a veneer around racing.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
It's pretty clear they're very focused on online stuff. Definitely go read the patch notes too. It's very informative as to making some things clear. It doesn't really feel like a... Well, I guess it's a 1.0 in that they released all the content, which is cool, but it definitely needs to be fixed up and patched and stuff. Yeah, hopefully we get it on the consoles. Take that in fourth. Gets good through the high speed there. Messing that corner up. The AI is pretty hit or miss as well.
Neither has finished the race.
I've had both positive and negative experience with it. I need to do some longer racing. That overtime thing is really annoying. It goes right in your mirror.
Alright, the race is over. Good job, mate. You did your best. Bring it back to the pits.
They're at 90 right now with 50 aggression. Otherwise, if you go higher aggression, they get kind of rammy or kind of ignory. All right, Ferrari, another good starting car. I'd say the only thing downside to it is I feel like I want it to rev higher, but it won't. But really not a problem. It's a very stable car. Good turn in. Rear is nice and solid. Okay, so the AMG. I decided to pick the AMG for my career mode. Yeah. I probably should be running this on like a green track or something to really accentuate the issues that they have. The AMG, man, it's tail happy. I can say that for sure. It is like super aggressive. So we're gonna go with the safe preset like we're doing for all these. Interesting. Hey Benji Racing. Compared to other sim racing titles, well, I think the driving's really, really good. I really like the driving, and it looks incredible. The stuff around it is not quite as refined.
Going double file.
By that I mean like there's a lot of like little bugs. Like if you pull up the multifunction display, it like screws up the button binding. Like my starter motor button doesn't work anymore. As far as I can tell right now, you can't map keyboard buttons to use and wheel buttons. So like if I want like all the traction control stuff, it has to be on the wheel, and I don't have enough buttons at the moment. I need to look into that more, but yeah. Just 2 pages on the AMG.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Ooh, that noise though. Got somebody up my inside. A lot of understeer there.
We've got some light damage on the front.
The rating system, we're not too clear on how it is. Oh, the safe preset is understeery. That was another thing. The AMG steering lock. It's quite slow, so the steering lock needs, or the steering rack, the rate needs to be sped up. It's one of the things I did to it when I was running it in my career. I think they have it so slow because that makes it a little more stable. It does have a light flasher button though, that's all important. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it's only GT3 racing, so, and only the Blancpain stuff, so if you're not into Blancpain, make it, you know, or you're not into GT3 cars, you want something different, it might get boring. I think the simulation itself is very, very good. I really like it. I really like the driving model. There's some weirdness to it, in terms of like a lot of things aren't explained well. Need to be a lot more tutorials. Oh, that's that rear end right there. You don't take any liberties on the throttle with the AMG. Definitely not a beginner car, in my opinion. Unfortunately. It sucks because I feel like the AMG is really actually one of the most drivable cars in reality. Sounds good though. But yeah, it's definitely still a work in progress, I would say. And it remains to be seen how much other stuff comes to it. If it stays, you know, just Blancpain GT3,
This has been your personal best.
that's kind of limiting. Granted, the price point's pretty good. Pretty good on the, actually really good on the brakes here on the AMG though. We'll look at that. price point, it's like 40 something right now. $40 and some change. Yeah, there's like not a lot of options either, like wheel calibration, pedal calibration. Somebody was telling me that they can't calibrate their pedals on it. So, it's still very much work in progress. Careful there, I got the grass, and that's where I spun the Audi. Feel like I can't push as much in the AMG. Definitely needs setup work to make it a.
Alright, man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
Make it a real contender. I think it's got potential. It's just not a casual car, that's for sure. Hey, Nico. It's my cousin Nico. The new Bentley is in the game. We will drive that here in a little bit. I love it. I drove it earlier yesterday. Ooh, it's so good. I love the look of that thing too. Super aggressive looking. It's right there. Yeah, it really needs some graphic optimization as well. It might get by here. The AMG does have an adjustable front splitter, which could be handy. So a little, whoa, but it's got that dead ass. Dead ass kicks out.
The leader has finished the race.
Yeah, they're pretty good on 50. They're fast. They don't make very many mistakes, but I have seen crashes and
Things getting wild. Remains to be seen whether they
whether they make stupid mistakes or have some sort of weird bugs. Like when I tried in early access, I tried the 6 hours free card, and they crapped out after what, 2.5. Okay, so to recap, AMG, cool, sounds great, tunable, but probably not a beginner's friendly car. Yeah, the new Bentley's in there. Okay, car I've been waiting to drive, the Porsche. That flat six scream. So, the one thing that's kind of weird is when I look at the cars on the replay and the external, it almost looks like they're floating. Hey Jesper, what's up? I don't know if it's just me or something about my graphics settings. Alright, so we're on the safe setup. Ooh, that's a pretty high steering ratio. That may be one thing that I need to... Well, I guess I'm going to keep doing them default, because that'll really tell us what the heck's going on. Ooh, text is really small on that photogrammetry. That's cool. Yeah. I know what photogrammetry is. Really cool technology. I have a feeling this engine's going to be nice sounding now.
Right, here we go.
Ooh, yeah, boy. Flat six. Dive bombed here. Oh, good turn in there, though. They're a bit one-liney through there, though. That's a definite flaw. Oh, dude, this feels so good. Granted, this is default setup, so other cars might be able to good, but yeah, I know. The Stuka. I'm in a German car, right? Higher gear through there. Yeah, the Motec display, pretty tough to read. A little understeery now. The first lap it had really good turn in. It's good on the brakes though. Yeah, I don't know if they'll get more tracks because it's Blancpain licensed, so I suppose they could do like Asia and America if SRO wrote that into the contract and is negotiating for it. I have a feeling SRO is all over Kunos to get this 1.0 version out.
Not over yet.
Because I think it looked a little embarrassing that they were running their first esports round in the early access version. Yeah, they go to Zandvoort instead of Zolder.
But on the fastest step so far.
Faster through there, it's got really good turn in now. A little bit of slide there, but very neutral slide. The one thing I would say is the gearing feels different from the other ones. I feel like I need to be in a higher gear than the other cars so far. Yeah, the new Aston. The GT4s are something that I would really like to see in here, yeah. Yeah, it just depends on how they wrote the contract. Probably should be paying attention to lap times and things like that. Kind of going by feel here, though. Obviously,
Well done, mate. Russell the best.
understeery in fourth there. Probably didn't need first there. Brake bias is really rearward. Could have gone in there faster, couldn't I have? It's got really good grunt out of the corners. like the different headlight modes, because, you know. Oh, I touched the grass there.
Just finished the race.
Even then, pretty controllable. I should have picked the Porsche in my career mode. Yeah, I went AMG.
Alright, race is over. Good job, mate. You did your best. Bring it back to the pits.
Yeah, Porsche. It's one of the best ones now. It's probably possibly top on my list. Have to do some long runs in these at some point. Alright. I like the Porsche. Surprise. Sounds nice. The engine feels really good. Yeah, dude. This is the best night racing. It's like, so Project Cars 2, the problem is it never like got dark. Like, it was never like pitch black. It was kind of always this like glow. It gets dark in ACC. Super Trofeo, I'll test it, but it's not really going to be in any way meaningful. I guess you could do a Super Trofeo race, but it's not going to keep up with GT3s. Obviously, Super Trofeo is on the Blancpain package. SRO runs it. Safe pre-setup. A lot of rear wing on that. That could be ugly.
Going double file.
Only one page there. That crap. Yeah, the night racing is just tops. It's so good. No stupid launch control system in this either. It just pulls away. Well, I guess it has its own launch control maybe, but I'm not gonna stall it. I don't know, I'm racing GT3 cars, so supposedly you can configure entries somehow. I was reading in the patch notes. Need to look into that more. See if
Green light, go, go.
the AI is really good off the rolling starts, though. There you go, model. I didn't stick my nose up his ass. A lot of rear wing on this, so quite a hint of understeer. I'm not going to say a little understeer. A lot of under. I got on the marbles. I don't know why I'm testing the Super Trofeo, but it's not really going to keep up with the GT3 spec car. Tail is pretty lively, though. Great looking version of Vantage, too. Yeah, if you get too much throttle in there, it starts to kick the rear end out. Assume the tire compound is the same. Steering rack's a little too slow for my liking. This AMG is all up my butt. doesn't like that corner there. What do I drive in real life? You know, a super badass Toyota RAV4. Nothing crazy.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
Used to have a Subaru Outback. Like a Toyota 4Runner, some sort of truck. Do some off-roading in. Light off-roading. I live out in the boonies, so more gravel than pavement. Brakes are a little snappy. Grabby, I mean. Yeah, they've got a straight line advantage on me hardcore.
But I'm making the fastest step so far.
The track temp does change dynamically. I'm assuming one of those temperatures is air and one of them is track. First one air. Not sure. No, on the mats there. Yeah. Thanks. Too lazy to do that. I wouldn't say I've had a quick lap, but yeah, it's not. It's not anywhere near it. It's got a lot of rear wing on it.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
And the rear, you can see the rear left tire is quite hot. It is in reality, yeah. It's a spec series. They're not as fast. So yeah. They don't actually race against GT3 cars. Well, that's not true. In Creventic Racing, the 24H series, they're in there, but they're in a different class. They're usually in their own little class.
There's some light damage right up the top.
Turning a little better there. Tire pressures are a little low. If you guys don't know how to read the tire widget down there, basically the 3 bars are the outside, middle, and inside bits of the tire. And then if it's the middle is low, that's the tire shape. It's underinflated. And if it's high, it's overinflated. We want it nice and level. The color is temperature at the top or bottom, depending on if it's front or rear. It's the depth is depth through the tire carcass. So if this is the surface of the tire, into the tire itself is the up and down bit of the tire widget there. It's kind of a nice system. I haven't been able to determine if there's a wear indicator on there.
Alright, checkered flag, good job. You did the
It's
best
not
you could.
necessarily
Bring the car
bad.
back.
Oh, was there a Super Trofeo in there? Spa 24 is a bit of an odd situation, right? It's technically a club race that Blancpain has co-opted into their championship. Let's say a normal Blancpain running, they don't race with them. Alright, the Acura, or Honda, I guess it's a Honda NSX. But yes, they are slower. Less aero on them, Probably a different engine tune, probably less refined. Oh yeah, this livery is tops. I agree with that fully. Save preset like everything else. So Super Trofeo, if you want to race other Super Trofeo cars, go for it. But
Staying double file.
weird feeling launch control system. Is there or not? Nice. Race logic is right there. The camera's pretty nice too, actually. Only one dash page, no other dash pages.
Green light, go, go, go.
But it's got pretty much everything you need on there. Sounds pretty good so far. Yeah, they're really one-liney through there, aren't they? Doesn't quite have the grunt out of the corners. This is turbocharged, right? I don't know what the power plant on the NSX is. Turbo 6? Yeah, turbo lag there. Sounds really good down there on the downshifts, though. Feels good. Hey, DC Sim Racing, what's up, man? Yeah, dude, I'm loving the racing itself. The stuff around it needs some work. This has got really good grip so far. So just one lap in. The power delivery is a little bit lacking, in my opinion. Yeah, right there. Really lagging. See, the Boatley is right up the butt. Probably should have downshifted there. Bottoming a bit too. Really stable on the brakes. How you doing, DC? Are you enjoying ACC? Oh, I got wide there. That was probably me. Off the line. Rear end seems pretty stable. Little understeer on the high speed, though.
We're halfway through, not over yet.
Too hot there. It's not snappy though. So far, only really the AMG and the Super Trofeo actually has a bit of snappy rear end. God, it's brutal. The sound. I think this has like really, really long gear ratios, maybe. I don't know if I've been up into 6th yet.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
I would say this car, it's kind of an intermediate. The power delivery is tricky, so it's not going to work for everybody. If you can deal with that, it's quite stable. Oh yeah, the downshifts, man, are brutal. That little blip it's got. Yeah, if you could figure out how to stand the power in this, it's pretty stable platform. Another thing I haven't looked at is fuel usage. Right now, I don't see a...
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
Totally got me. Doesn't have quite the straight line. Maybe it's got a lot of wing on it, though. He's really slow through there. Lambo's got a run on me. I don't see a fuel use per lap on there. I see laps remaining. Got a little dicey there.
Anita has finished the race.
That was me. I went in too hot there. I've been talking a lot with my buddy Sumerian Demon about ACC. He's one of the
Alright, race is over. Good job, mate. You did your best.
people
Bring it
who,
back to the
and I
finish.
agree with him totally, he's basically said each car has kind of its own characteristics and a lot of character. They feel very unique. I wholeheartedly agree with that. So the Honda, the NSX, it's not bad. I'd say it's got pretty good grip. It's not the Porsche, which had like really pointy, nice turn in. The power delivery is where it kind of falls down. I don't know if this is something interesting. TC2. I don't know what TC2 is. If that's like a stability control. So much I need explained. Yeah. Anyways, that's kind of like a middle of the road. If you're into it, it might work for you. It's not like terribly snappy or anything, but power delivery is not as good. All right, how we doing? The Lexus. All right, so this is going to be a model favorite. Save preset here. Does look like it does. I can't do that front end, man. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Hey Aiden, what's up, man? Race Logic's there. You can see that it's nice. Only one screen here. Got tire pressures, some temps. Brake bias, it looks like. Not sure I see fuel. It's another thing. If you want to race no HUD, some cars are going to be better than others. Particularly if you want to do endurance. It does tell me what light mode I'm in on the HUD. 67 liters up the top.
Green line, go, go, go.
Woo, that's a good noise. I'll give it that. Pretty conservative here. Apologize, I'm not being as aggressive as I could. Oh, boy. It's got a little squirrel to it. I'm there with you, buddy. I think it's ugly, personally. It sounds good. What's the power plant in it? I'm assuming a V8? Turbo? Non-turbo? Could have gone down here. Get up to the high rev range. It's pretty good on the first lap here. Yeah, that echo off the pit wall too. I'm super conservative into Paddock Hill here. Bit of understeer there. And I feel like I ripped the nose off. Good on the brakes though. Don't be... I was gonna say, Jesus Christ. Gotta pay attention to the throttle, basically. I kind of jammed it down there and kicked in the ass for it. Patch notes for 1.0 did mention some BOP tuning. I definitely think some cars are probably going to be faster than others, though obviously, as with even in real racing. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, that's the over-understeer there.
Well done, mate. That's the best.
It's quick, though, isn't it? Faster than the Honda. It's like a little more on the AMG side of things, a little crazy on the rear, on the low speed. Coming out of the low speed, it definitely wants to kick its ass out, but not as bad as the AMG, that's for sure. Those extra 0.4 liters. Silly.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Is he saying my name? Is he saying Ben? That's crazy.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Thought so. That's kind of cool, I guess. All right, I'm somewhat converted, Monel. I'm gonna say that much. I just, as long as I don't have to listen to or look at the outside. Konnichiwa! How you doing, Moko Moko? Feels good over the few laps too.
Right, mate, race is over. Good job, you did the best you could. Take it easy, leave lap.
It's got a good light flasher too. Alright, on the sound, that thing is a beast. Driving wise, bit on the understeery side, probably safe, but it does kick the rear out a bit, so you gotta be a little careful on the throttle. Up next, the Jag. Thanks to anybody that subscribed during the stream. Appreciate that. You guys are awesome. I hate arbitrary wing numbers. It drives me insane.
Stay double file.
It's got a good Motec, I like that. Can't quite see the mirror though. Ooh, it's got the annoying launch control-y thingy. Jimmy, thanks for stopping by, appreciate it. Yeah, older car.
Green light, go, go, go.
It's always interesting that the Emil Frey team chooses something unique, though. I got boxed in there. Oh! Contact there.
Got some light damage on the front of the car.
Somebody ran into me. So I noticed on the inside, sometimes they'll, ooh, yeah. Understeer E. Whoa!
There's some light damage on the left of the car.
He did not yield at all. Alright, let's... Man. He didn't want to, you know, he just fucking wanted to stick out there on the outside. I do think in a straight line I was a bit slower than them. So
Go in double file.
oh, this is annoying. When you restart a session, it turns the ignition off. It turns off the electronics, and then you have the, we'll call it ignition, and then so you have to turn that on and hit the fire button. There's no like indicator that the electronics are on or off. So when you load into a race initially, the electronics, the ignition is on and the car is on, but when you restart the session, it's off. Sometimes they're really annoying on the rolling starts, man. They're all over the place. inside here. Really doesn't have the turn in about mid-corner. It starts to understeer.
Yeah, you can tune that out of it, but
Engine car. I don't think it has the high speed either. I can feel the rear end wanting to go. ABS kicking in quite heavily. Cool car, but yeah, you might be right, model. Not gonna be as competitive. Really far forward on the brake bias. Curious how the default setups are. A little less ABS-y there. Though.
We've got light damage in the rear.
Got punted.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
who punted me? Was it a Ferrari? I feel like I've been punted by Ferraris a few times.
Lambo. Yeah, a lot of ABS there. Don't know how I got.
I don't know, I guess let's try going rearward on the bias. 69.
Well done, mate. Your fastest step so far.
Actually, a little bit of, man, that understeer.
Front left is taking a pounding. It's really giving up here. Just the whole front of the car in general. Maybe some damage, but does not want to turn. Sounds pretty cool off throttle.
Ski running the grass creep there.
Leaders on final lap.
Alright, so the Jag.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Not the pinnacle of performance.
It's not slow, I guess. That's a 128, but
I would say I'm having to fight the car a lot.
could be minor damage from those little punts I got, but getting through there, it's just understeer. So Jag, some setup work needed. Rear end, pretty stable. I feel like maybe if you drive like an idiot, just mash the throttle, it could kick. I'm trying not to do that, so it's not kicking as much, but I think I'm on fuel map 1 here too, even. Using the safe presets, just the rear end. Gear ratios are interesting. First there. Night endurance lighting.
Alright, check it, Frank. Good job. You did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
Have to say the damage model, it's like no damage indicator, which is annoying. I guess you could say that's realistic, but it would be nice to have. And the like body damage you can see is just kind of pitiful. Yeah, it's not a slow car, but it doesn't have the crispness of some of the other cars. All right, we got the Gallardo, which was a cool inclusion. A lot of rear wing on this.
Stay double file.
Old school looking MFD Motec there. Got the stupid launch control. Terrible fuel. Don't know what some of these are. Temperature gearbox, temperature oil, temperature water, PO. Not sure what that is.
Green line, show them where you go.
Really screams. Ooh, not too good on the brakes though. There, cold brakes. Pretty good turn in though. A little bit on the late corners understeer. Can't see the shift lights under the steering wheel. That's a bit annoying. Too much rear wing. Definitely too much rear wing. It was my stupidity there, but didn't bite me too hard. Yeah, it doesn't have as sharp a turn in as something like the Porsche. And the brakes, I don't think the brakes are particularly spectacular. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Again, all this stuff can be tuned. This is a default setup. Probably they didn't put as much work into this car because it's kind of a lower option. It's not slow per se, but it's not as easy on the driver. Gonna need some work on the setup. Hard time figuring out.
gonna slide on there.
I think it was a full GT3 spec, but it's a much older car.
Well, not me. Personal fastest lap.
So much understeer through paddock hill there. And the brakes. Short shifted there. Yeah. Cock that up. Hey man, what's up? You like this one in the Jag? Yeah, but it wasn't a factory engineered car, was it? That's interesting. I didn't know that though. I thought it was just a is it like an evolution on their previous versions of the Gallardo? Because I know it was run by the Rex or whatever, Reiter Engineering. Yeah, I've only seen the Gallardo in a few races. I forget, maybe it was a Zolders. It's 29s here. Went a little too far rearward on the bias there. Sounds nice. The handling is not quite as good. Needs work. Okay, so an interesting car, but probably not going to be competitive. No surprise. I'm going to take a short break.
Alright, we're back.
Okay. Oh yeah, I need to give a shout out to Takegaki. Good dude. He donated to the stream yesterday, 2 days ago. Whenever I did my last ACC stream, this one yesterday. So yeah, thanks for that kind donation. Okay, where? Ooh, the Aston. That Aston. I guess we gotta go with Nikki, don't we? So. Oh, you do? That's awesome. That's really cool. Let's take a look at it. It is a thing of beauty.
Double file.
I like that display. That's pretty cool. A bit blurry for me though. Does have a fuel used per lap. I like that. 2 pages there. Predicted lap time. That's a really nice. That's a really nice tech. Ooh boy, it's got a little bit of movement at the rear. Brakes. Aston's cold. Turn in initially here. Yeah, as the tire heats up and the shape changes and stuff like that. And also, they were talking about the tire gives really high grip for the first 3 or 4 laps, it said. Supposedly they got a flat spot system implemented as well. I haven't noticed flat spots yet. Very cautious there, otherwise the rear would have kicked. Like the Aston could be a bit dangerous on the throttle there. Wait until it straightens up before you punch it. Understeer there. Brakes aren't half bad there. Oh yeah. Yeah. Rear end is loose. Thundercats are loose. Not a bad handling car, though. I feel like I'm letting it down. Might not suit my style.
We are at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Yeah, a lot of understeer there. Too much rear wing, I think.
Steering rate seems fine.
Pretty much the AMG is the one that feels slow to me.
A little bit slow on the steering.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
28. Bad time, but oh, that front end's pushing. Feel like they can drive away from me on the power. Part of you should buy this game. Oh, that was not pleasant.
We've got some light damage on the front.
So that was some high-speed understeer there. Yeah, I mean, it's 40 something. If you don't have 40 some odd dollars to throw around for just a Blancpain GT3 sim, probably not worth it yet. The racing, and some damage. The career mode and stuff is not really ready yet. There's a lot of little issues that definitely to Assetto Corsa, quite a big difference in my opinion. Completely different engine. Feel like the cars feel quite different to me in just the simulation. The racing's better. I think the racing stuff in Assetto Corsa was kind of really tacked on. This is much more structured. It's like uber hyper Blancpain sim, possibly to its detriment. So is that a fuel used per lap, or is that just a fuel used period? Because if it's fuel used period, that's pretty much looking annoying. Kind of useless. Yeah, you gotta mod it, but
Alright, mate. Good job. You did the best you could. Take it easy.
yeah, that's a fuel used total. Still like a per lap. I don't even see if there's a fuel left. That's kind of frustrating. I like to look at the little Motec there. Needs work. I'd say that was a bit of a more struggly car. It's kind of like the AMG. It's not as tail happy as the AMG, but yeah, if you're not if you don't got disposable income for this, I would hold off for a little while. It definitely is going to improve as they patch it and stuff. Alright, we got the 2015 Bentley, the old school Boatley. Bentley. The old Bentley, yeah. Yeah, see, like, look at that. The car looks like it's floating. They look like they're floating to me. I don't know why. It's just bizarre. School Bentley. Right-hand drive.
Stay, double 5.
Yeah, too bad. 2 pages on there. It's a fuel gauge. Tire temps. Fuel used. Fuel per lap. Where's the actual
Green light, give it all you got.
level? Right-hand drive feels weird. That was me not knowing what's going on, because took it easy there. Feels pretty good so far. Hey, Emil, what's up? Sorry, I missed your comment there. Yeah, tell me about it. I don't know, changing the driver position just like really messes with my head. It's also 3-something in the morning here. I don't mind the race engineer's audio too much here. I usually turn, well, I've had that off for a long time in Project Cars 2. I may turn him off at some point. Okay, it turns quite well on the low speed. I think it's got a really quick rack, which is nice. I like that. Some understeer somewhere. Pretty good on the brakes, actually, too. Traction control keeps it in line. Just being on the right-hand side. This is with my mind, though. At high speed, it's a little understeering.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
That's the safe preset, I think, in a lot of cases here. Too much for the wing. Good turn-in. Boatley, 2015 Boatley. Pretty good. Hey, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that's dropped a like for it as well. Really appreciate that. It helps me out. Everybody that's subscribed. Y'all are the best.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
28.4. That's not. Got the new Boatley all over me, though. Better run through there. Really should learn the corners here. I know it's Paddock Hill. There's a Graham Hill bend somewhere. really love Brands Hatch though. Hey, what's up, man? Sumerian!
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Yeah, World of Warships right here. New DLC. What's up, Sumerian? How you doing, buddy?
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
27.7. I feel like I can push well in this car. Good balance. Pretty nimble. Good power. Hey Jay, what's up, dude? Boatley is awesome. So far, both Boatleys are really good. Probably would go with the newer model. This is definitely respectable. What's time there? Sorry, I was reading the chat. Bit of understeer there, but not bad. Pretty stable car. No bizarre handling quirks. No bad understeer. Power delivery's pretty nice.
The leader has finished the race.
Seems pretty good over the curbs as well.
Alright, checkered flag. Good job. You did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
AI seems pretty good. What would you say, Monel? They're pretty reasonable. I had a few issues with them in the Jag. If you're slower and they can smell blood, they really go for it. Like, they went around the outside on like a high-speed fourth gear corner, and we touched. All right, old Boatley, good. I approve. Beginner car for sure. You could drive that. Yeah, I'm running 50% aggression. That seems to kind of keep them in line. Okay, old GT-R. Not sure why they have both models, but you know, whatever. More the merrier. Alright. Okay. Yeah, the car looks like it's floating. Is it just me? They look like they're floating. Maybe they are floating here. Maybe they're on their jack stands. Not much rear wing adjustability on this car. Some of them have like 20 clicks or something like that. Some not so much. Steering ratio. Running default setups just to kind of get a feel for things. It's got lots of pages. I love lots of pages. All kinds of info on the Motec.
Green light. Give it all you can.
Slow there. GT-R, good feeling car. Can't believe the Lambo there. Understeer. Got the run on me. Man, they seem to have a lot of grunt out of the corners. Fool. That was a racing mistake, not the car. I got a bunch of marbles on my tires now. So you guys chat and stuff. So we're kind of trying to figure out what cars would be good for beginners without touching the setup. I do not know. That is something that I need to test. I just need 3 to 6 hours when I can do that. I hope so. But yeah, that's a big question. Because the career mode technically has all those things and can set up those race weekends. Yeah, sleep is for the weak. It's like 3, maybe 4. Got cars to test, Sumerian. Slept all weekend. I feel like they're all over me.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
Hold them up. Drop down 2. Yeah, that. There. That also is true. Bit too much rear wing on this right now. It's dragging in a straight line possible too.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
Yeah, 130. Not that quick. Need some time here. So, I'm gonna say no to this version of the GT-R. The newer one is better. Gotta suck it up though. It just feels like I don't have any power. Ride height's pretty low too. I feel like I'm bottoming a lot.
Right, man. Neither is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Not a terrible feeling car. It does feel a little sluggish, I would say. 29.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
Yeah, it's definitely a little slower. Yeah, see, once they know you're slow, they force the issue. It's interesting. Just ended up kind of running off because I didn't really want to make contact.
Leader has finished the race.
Feel like they get fed up with you if you're in a slow car. ...2015 GT-R... Wouldn't go with it.
Alright, mate, race is over. Good job. You did the best you could. Take it easy, being loud.
Newer GT-R is probably better. Alright. Porsche Cup car. Okay. It's gonna be slower. Obviously, you would drive this against other Cup cars. Have you driven the Cup car?
Staying double file.
I really liked the 911 GT3. Oh, that's cool. There's a quali and a race page.
Green light, go, go, go.
Still that sweet flat 6. Oh yeah. Grip is much lower. Okay.
We've got some severe damage in the front.
Oh! I should have read that first, shouldn't I have? Alright, now watch. Watch what happens. The ignition is off.
Going double file.
I have to fire it, but when you load in, it's on. So when you start the race, it's on. And you don't have to click anything. The ignition's on, it's fired. But when you restart, ignition is off. You have to turn it on and then fire. It's like, ah!
Green light, give it
It's
okay.
a really long hold there. Jeez, we're like already into the braking zone.
We've got some light damage in the front of the car.
It's interesting. Alright, let's try it one more time.
Staying double file.
I don't really want to drive it with damage just because I want to get a better sense for it. Like it should be. It seems like the lights are still on. Oh, no, just the light indicator was on. So on the dash, the headlight thing was still on, but the lights weren't actually on. That's really frustrating. The HUD is not synced. Yeah, okay, that was a bit ambitious, I know. I was trying to thread the needle. God, it's got so much power, though. Both Porsches. Flat 6. Gotta be really careful on the power, though. And it's so good on the turn-in. Doesn't have the rear grip of the GT3 car. I don't know what the wing level is like. Yeah, that was what I noticed there. Sounds good. Crap all over my tires, though. Yeah, you cannot trail brake. Jeez. Alright. This is the last time.
Go in double file.
We're gonna bump the bias forward because it's really giving me issues. Sound break, it sounds funny.
Green light, go, go, go.
Okay. It sounded weird to me.
Got some light damage on the front.
And the guys at the back are really dragging. I guess that's just the cue. Steering's really fast on this. It's faster than the GT3. It's on the limit there. Yeah, I feel like the braking is where it gets let down. It doesn't have the grip of a GT3 car. Man. To like 56 on the bias. I don't know, I feel like Cup cars are gotta be stable. I just feel like this is poorly set up. I feel like this and the Gallardo probably didn't get as much setup treatment because they're not the majority car that people will be driving. I don't know, 911s do have their own style, though. I can't imagine the real car being this unruly.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
Hey, man. Yeah, I know. The day it came out, I was at work. Everybody in the UK was already playing. I was like, oh, I want to drive. If you like GT3 cars, it's really good. Front tires are not happy. Pressures are all screwed up, I think. Way under pressure, way under temperature.
Well done, mate. Your fastest lap so far.
The front right is like freaking cold as hell. And the brakes don't work as well. That definitely is for sure. Yeah, it feels really quite similar to early access. It's just got new cars, new tracks. They have, yeah, this is version 1.0. So all the cars, all the tracks. I haven't tried online racing yet. I will at some point. But they got some new systems implemented.
Leaders on final lap now.
Like flat spots, apparently. Said 3 or 4 big spins and you'll flat spot the tires. I haven't really felt flat spots yet. They're supposed to vibrate. I have to test that at some point. Yeah, not as good as the GT3 version, obviously. I don't know if I have damage or what's going on, but this has been the hardest car to drive so far. Maybe I'm just not good enough, but I feel like it's at least the safe setup is not working out at Brands Hatch. Maybe it's set up for Spa. It's pretty loose on the high speed. Well, it's understeery. That front right has 0 temperature.
The leader has finished the race.
Okay there. This is not a beginner's car for sure. It's a massive amount of setup work. Yeah, you can feel the
No tire pressure. Stay clear of the curbs. Alright, race is over. Good job, mate. You did your
tire
best.
pressure.
Bring it
Yeah,
back to
the
pits.
pressures must have been really fucked up too. Well, stay away from that unless you know how to set up a race car. I mean, it's a cool inclusion, but not really the everyman's car. Thanks to everybody for stopping by the way. Appreciate it. New Boatly. We're testing Assetto Corsa Competizione, going through all the cars here. Onto the new Boatley, which, oh, I love it. It looks so good. I drove this a bit earlier today. I like. Hey, reality real virtuality. How you doing? Ah, dude, it's so good. Definitely must drive.
Staying double file.
Some cool different pages here. I kind of like this gauge one. Again, like the other Bentley, it doesn't have... The fuel is this red thing. Okay, that's interesting, but imprecise. I would like the fuel to be a number, but...
Green light. Go, go, go.
It's got torque, man. But it's pretty nimble. It's got a lot of torque. Kicks the rear a bit. Brakes are good. Steering's quite quick. You would expect it to be slow, but it's not. Good balance through the high speed there. Yeah, it really turns in quite quickly. I like it. Nope. Yeah, it's really nice. Feels good. I could do this for 24 hours. It's just a nice feeling car. Bit of understeer there. Nothing drastic, but brakes are good too. It's right on me. I feel like setup is going to make a lot of difference in ACC. I haven't really set a car up, but I feel like that's where like a lot of the dynamicism, that's a word, comes from, why the cars feel so different. It's the different setups,
We are at the halfway mark. Still a way to go.
configurations, engines. Oh, this is so good. This is probably one of my favorite cars. I think it is my favorite car. I feel like I can push in it. I feel like I can cruise in it.
Well done, mate. Personal fastest lap.
I don't know if it's very fast. 27s. It's pretty handy. 27.4. This GT-R's all up my butt. Mistake there. Held on to it. Try taking this in fourth. You can do it. It's got good grip. Early, mid, late. Grip throughout the corner.
Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
GT-R is fast though. Bias is a little far rearward, I would say. Really was pushing the braking pretty late. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know how they're gonna wear through a stint. I know it's blasphemy, but this car steering might be too quick. So when you push the braking, it's a little loose at the rear. Could be diff preload.
The leader has finished the race. Alright, checkered flag. Good job. You did the best you could. Now bring the car back.
Yeah, just that little bit of rear instability in a few of the braking zones. Just to adjust the bias. That's the main thing. Bentley's a good car. Not sure it's the best beginner car. It can get a little unstable. It's pretty, pointy, so it can get a little unstable. But it has a lot of potential, I think, especially if you can tweak it. Boatley, big thumbs up. Okay, the M6. Okay, so I drove this in early access, and it was just fucking... The rear end was all over the place. So, let's see.
Go in double file.
I hate the steering wheel on this thing too. It just looks funny. Yeah, dude, the traction control just kicked in everywhere because it was just so much torque. The rear was undrivable.
Green light. Go, go, go.
They said they made some BOP changes, so...
There's some severe damage on the right of the car.
Alright, that was possibly my fault. I was trail braking a ton into that.
Stay in double file.
Oh shit, I gotta start the car. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what BMW's GT3 plans are, but I don't know. They've had some success in the German series, but
Green light, go, go, go.
Yeah, a lot of understeer there. Boxed in here. Yeah, they really want to get to that one line. They cannot take a separate line through the corner there. Where was I supposed to go? Like, I had the inside. Couldn't go much further in. Slow corners, when they're on the outside, they're a little... bumpy, let's call it. Should be noted I have the track rubber state set to optimum. So the rear is getting as much grip as it could possibly get. But yeah, I don't really like the sound of this car either. Doesn't sound good, doesn't feel that good. Jags all over me. High speed understeer, low speed understeer, all kinds of understeer. It's gonna go by. I don't have much confidence in this car, to be honest, so braking really early. It's just not giving me any bite. I'd say the Cup car, the Porsche Cup car, was difficult to drive, but not necessarily bad. This is just, it's kind of bland and not good feeling. Like, at least the Cup car was lively and exciting. It's just this kind of, it's beige understeer. Sloppy there. And only one Motec screen. It's a big no-no in my book. Marcus, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Just see the traction control light on a whole lot.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Not good on the brakes either. Oh, dude, no. It's all about what you like. The Lambo and the Audi have really good Motecs. You can tell that the endurance cars have really good displays. I love having that information there.
Anita has finished the race.
Try and hold the AMG off. If it doesn't have certain information, I get really annoyed. Ferraris is pretty detailed as well.
Right, the race is over. Good job. You did the best you could. Take it easy, indeed, lab.
BMW gets a big thumbs down. Not a fan. Yeah, I think the Audi is more stable. I agree with that. It felt like a very good beginner's, like, novice car. But obviously it's very fast. Godzilla Gojira. 2018 GT-R. I drove this a lot at Recard in early access. Thanks, man. I am enjoying making it so far. Try to put more stuff out here in coming days, weeks. GT-R's got a bunch of Motec pages too. Confuses me why some have different things like boost versus RPM versus dial versus bar.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Flash the lights at the start. That GT-R is a good car. Straight out the box, I have good confidence in it. Nice and nimble, pretty good speed. Way better than the 2015 version. Which is why they made the new one, because the 2015 version was not that good. I feel like it was only good at Recard. I know. There was something about driver swaps in there. Multiplayer driver swaps enabled. I don't know if those were actually between human players. It's something we need to test and look into. Getting a little tired here. I'm dropping back. Feels good. I don't know if it's fast. But yeah, multiplayer AI online would be nice. But I have a feeling it may never come. I don't know. That would be a shame. Getting a little too early there. Tiny bit of understeer there. This thing is a beast on the brakes, though. It's so good. That was my mistake.
Some severe damage on the front.
Alright. Whew. That was all me. That was me not driving well. So I'm starting to get a little tired.
Staying double file.
Let's try it again. Except that stuff. I'm pretty sure I... Yeah, it lags a little.
Going double file.
Is the car started? I can't tell. won't let you rev. There we go. Yeah, the launch control dealie on the GT-R is very annoying though. I've been stalling a lot. Yeah, there is some definite turbo lag. Gotta keep the revs up.
Green line, go, go, go.
They're really good at the starts too. Really slow. Oh, wow. That's like the first time I've seen an AI try and take a inside line there. Oh, I ran into the limiter. Yeah, it feels like it should keep pulling, but then it hits the limiter. Inside to cover off there. Though. So Marion, have you driven the Lexus? Drove that earlier. Was pleasantly surprised. It's quite good.
Fastest lap of the race, man. Good job.
This thing is fast. Yeah, it doesn't sound very good, does it? But it's quick. Yeah, Lexus sounds nice. And it was pretty stable. Had a bit of loose rear, but I would drive it. The Bentley is the best though. 2018 Bentley. GT-R is good here too. With some tweaking, it would be even better. It's got a little bit of high-speed understeer right now.
Halfway through, keep pushing.
It's probably a little safer than the Bentley. That was part of the reason I picked it to try my endurance race in it, because it was very stable.
Well done, mate. Personal best. Less than leg damage on the right.
That was me running wide. Getting tired. That was him pushing me. I got a bit of understeer and kind of ran into him, but I had the inside. Shit. Crabbing. Yeah, that corner's a problem when you're on the inside and they're on the outside. They really, sometimes they back off, sometimes they don't, and that's one of those moves where you try and hold it, but if you understeer, where are you going to go? Into them. Yeah, I got something broken over the tires here.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
I've noticed in most cases, the cars are built like tanks. You can beat and bang them, but sometimes you'll get just bad damage. There's no damage widget either, which, like I said earlier, is realistic, I guess, but kind of annoying. You don't really know what's damaged or where, but you can see the exact state of your tires. But yeah, probably implement it later. Yeah, it's really all over the place now. So, GT-R needs some setup attention, but not bad. Good car, nice, stable. Good over the curbs. Engine's not quite as good as the Bentley. Thanks to everybody that's out there watching, by the way. Really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that subscribed and liked the stream. It's not the best car.
Right, race is over.
It's
Good job.
good.
Bring it back to the pits.
It's funky at the rear there. The rear brakes were a little cold, actually, so that may have been part of it. Alright, well, GT-R, it's kind of a known quantity to me. I'd say it's a pretty good car. Needs some minor adjustment, but McLaren. 90% difficulty, 50% aggression right now.
Staying double file.
I am running just the default setup, though, the safe setup. Not a bad Votech on the McLaren here. Kind of tiny, but it's the job done. Really long hold here. They were basically across the start-finish line when the lights went out. McLaren's very low to the ground. Wow. This is like the most aggressive feeling car in terms of ride height. All the other cars, I guess, are just your average GTs, right? I guess the Bentley's an expensive beast, but steering is either slow or there's understeer. I think the rack might be a little slow. Sound is very similar to the R Factor 2 sound. If you guys remember, Yuri and I, our first 24-hour race together, R Factor 2 was 24 hours of Dubai, which, ooh boy, was that an experience? Yeah, a bit of high-speed understeer too. Might be the steering wheel feels kind of possibly wing related. I didn't look what the wing level was. But yeah, we drove the McLaren. I think it was the... I forget which Vantage version of the McLaren. It looked very similar to this, but just, they kind of all do. Traction control really kicking in. Yeah. You're right there. You do feel the speed. Really is kind of loose at the rear maybe or something. I don't know. It's really trying to fight me on the TC. Feel like I'm catching though. This thing feels fast. It's not perfect in terms of it's got a bit of high speed understeer, I'd say.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Yeah, there. Paddock Hill. Really good on the brakes too. Oh no!
You've got some severe damage in the front.
I did the no-no. I did the, oh, if only I cut that just a bit tighter.
Going double file.
Feel like you're really far forward in the yeah, that's not a curve you can run for sure. That launch control though is not good.
Green light, you was okay.
This is an interesting car. I feel like it's so far the most aggressive. I have a feeling in like leagues and stuff this could be a very fast car. I'm interested to see the community reaction to traction control and ABS systems. There's such a big part of GT3 racing, but there's this whole like subset of people that is so anti traction control, anti-ABS, that it'll be interesting to see people struggling to try and drive these things without them. Who knows, maybe they won't struggle if we're all just weak noobs. Ooh, yeah, this does not take
Some severe
as
damage
well.
in the front of the car.
Yeah, this thing must be really, really low. Let's take a look at this setup. Yeah, it's real low to the ground, isn't it? And this... I gotta say, I like the driving probably a little bit more in ACC, at least for GT3. Driving's better. In terms of an overall package, I'd still say yeah, probably. Project Cars 2 has so much variety, so many circuits, that like value for money, it's definitely a better proposition. These GT3 cars are way better though. Like, I like it a lot better than the GT3 in Cars 2. the driving physics side of thing, it's a lot better. But
Green light. Give it all you got.
they're very different. Night racing is better in ACC as well. It's too bright in Project Cars 2. Let's do the dive bomb. This thing might have a ton of downforce as well, so maybe it, at speed, it gets really low on the ride height. Granted, this is default setup, so maybe some of these other cars on their safe setup, they definitely have a higher ride height. So maybe that's why they feel a little, they're not as sharp, but they're a little more safe, especially like over curves. Got understeer there. Problem so far is the power delivery. Be really careful about it. You can really try and spin up the rears. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It has a ton of like turbo lag, I think, though. It really felt down on power coming out of the corners. It was a stable platform, but too late.
We're halfway through, not over yet.
Feel my mind being very sluggish and tired right now. I can go much faster.
Brother lane, this is me, your personal best.
Curb. It's got a little issue with the turn in. Late in the corner, I'd say. Take some butters through there. The arrow is really good though. Don't shoot it that far.
Leaders on final lap.
I feel like maybe it's losing some of its edge. Maybe it's just that like first initial lap. It feels really. Yeah, look at that. Stupid rack might need speeding up. It's so low to the ground. struggling on the brakes now. That's... I don't really hear the ABS kicking in. Hey Mike, what's up, man? Oh, it's so good through the high speed there. But then this one. Understeers. Oh, lots of ABS there. That's part of the problem.
Neither has finished the race.
That's why the braking distance went up so high. I don't know if that's because the bias is too far forward. I'm test it right now. It's an ABS issue. That's part of it.
Alright, checkered flag. Good job. You did the best you could. I'll bring the car back.
Well, I wouldn't say people are dissing it, but it's not perfect, right? It has issues. It has a lot of issues, let's be honest. The driving and stuff is all really good. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the driving model. It's just like there's bugs and odd shit, so like you load into a race, the ignition is on and the car's fired up. You restart the session back to the same spot, ignition is off, have to fire the car. It like doesn't make sense. You'll run wide on a lap and teleport back to the pits, and you got your next lap and it invalidates that one because you ran wide. It's got some consistency issues, I would say. It's not. I mean, it's good, but it's not perfect. It's not even... The career mode's busted, too. You can't save mid-weekend. So, like, you do quali, and if you quit, it doesn't save that. So you have to do the whole thing in one sitting, which is frustrating. I mean, it depends on what you want to get from it, right? If you're just going online. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be fixed. It's just,
Going double file.
You could have a complete turd of a game, and if that's your justification, right, then they can say, well, we can fix it, but like, okay, this doesn't have the annoying launch control. This just kind of goes. The Audi. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It is interesting. Oh yeah, no, the whole 1.0 thing, I guarantee you it's because Blancpain SROs breathing down their neck. SRO wants this out during the season. Right, the season's already started. We have 2 races, maybe more. Oh, it feels so good. Traction control's kicking in now. ABS. It wasn't a good look that they did their first esports round in early access. Can't think that looked good to anybody. And I don't know why they weren't, didn't have all the cars out. Did they finish with them? No. Like, they didn't have certain aspects of the simulation until very late as well. So apparently they just implemented flat spots pretty late in the early access process. They put in brake ducts. A lot of ABS. But yeah, no, I mean, it's fixable. Worried about some limitations of the engine and stuff, possibly. Can we get multiplayer AI so that we can do endurance races with like more than 2 people? Also, it's an interesting prospect. It'll be interesting to see how quickly we get tired of what there's 10 tracks. I don't know the exact number, I'm just guesstimating. If there's enough circuits to hold our attention. I mean, how many times can you race at Monza? But I guess that's what people want, right? They want to simulate Blancpain. You see that in Project Cars 2. I feel like I could push a little bit more, but I'm tired. Yeah, I agree with that. That would be nice. That will add some intrigue, but yeah, a lot of understeer there. The real thing, right, is circuits. It's going to be an interesting one. Just garbage through there. Get a 126.8. That's one of my fastest laps, I think. Lambo's fast. Let's say that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just how they wrote those contracts, whether they can get all that stuff on board. But yeah, no, I mean, it's got really good potential. And the night racing, man. The night racing looks so good. It's dark and hard to see, and man, it's really good.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Yeah, it needs a few tweaks, but it's a quick one. That's for sure. Last was 26.9. Yeah, it's even tired and making mistakes. It's quick. So Lambo is dominant. In some ways, yeah. Project Cars 2, rain, I like the dynamic puddles and stuff like that. That's really cool. I can't tell how dynamic ACC stuff is. I need to test that. It is quite slippery. It's more focused, I would say. Project Cars 2 in the wet, sometimes some cars do really well. Some cars, it's just garbage. I don't know. I think Project Cars 2 weather is pretty good.
Right, mate. Race is over. Good job. You did the best you could. Take it easy indeed, lap.
Alright, Lambo good. Lambo good. Yeah, I think those were some of my fastest laps. Yeah, it is hard to see the water. The water is like part of the texture almost. the texture on the polygons of the track. There is drizzle, I would say. It depends on the car. Some cars are really broken in the rain in Project Cars 2. And how long the race is as well. That's everything. Holy shit, I drove all the cars! Alright, let's test the Audi again. I drove that at the beginning. And now I actually know the circuit, this version of the circuit better, and driving better.
Stay double file.
Project Cars 2 doesn't do well with oversteer is a big problem in a lot of cases. A lot of cars are really tricky that way. But yeah, some of the track texture just looks funky to me. Yeah, in the wet, the track texture looks a little weird.
Green light, go, go, go.
Napping there. Look left, right, and center. Okay, Audi default setup. Much crisper. So fast through there. Just chicken. That curve much more than the McLaren. Feels so balanced though. Rear brakes are really cold though. Just through there. Yeah, it's a little sharper. Than the this is really far forward. It's a little sharper than the Lambo. Very similar car though, right? Yeah, rear brake ducts need to be closed.
We are halfway through, keep it up.
Oh, that was a DK moment. Enhance moment as well. Okay, so the brake bias was forward for a reason.
Well done, mate. This has been your personal best.
It's a quick one, 26.4. Audi's fast too. Audi and Lambo, man. take a lot of that curve.
Leaders on final lap now.
Into the 25s.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Probably sitting uncompleted on some animator's computer. Would be my guess as to where they are. Why they're there and not in the game. Because it takes time to make things, and possibly Italian. Broken. Maybe it was breaking something.
Alright, race is over. Good job, mate. You did your best. Bring it back to the pits.
Audi's quick, okay. That's quick. One more thing I want to test. Let's see. I haven't really done that many pit stops, to be honest. Porsche. My Porsche. Audi, Lambo, Porsche, Bentley. All like really solid cars for beginners. I would say new Bentley, that is. GT-R, possibly up there, but oh, dude, the 2018 Bentley, possibly my favorite car.
Going double file.
It feels really good, the Bentley. I really like the 2018 Bentley. 2015 Bentley was pretty good too. Not as good though.
Green light, give it okay.
Unfortunately, my AMG is not that good. Probably on the lower side of the drivability scale. Jesus, it's just so... Oh, it's so turn-in-y. I know, it pissed me off too. It's just a freaking torque monster. It needs setup work is the thing. biases. Okay, on the ragged edge, Porsche is, yeah, a bit twitchy, braking wise. Bias is really far rearward.
Got some light damage on the front of the car.
Yeah, Audi was much more stable at the ragged edge.
Staying double file.
Sorry, this is one of the ones I tested early, so I don't know, I wasn't like on it as much circuit-wise. Ferrari's pretty good too. It's a very stable platform. I wonder if it's just a brake cooling. I didn't see what the brake tools were.
Green light, go, go, go.
Thank you, Porsche, for not running into me. That was almost a very bad situation. Got stuck behind the GT-R, nice. Capitalize on that. Yeah, the rear brakes are cold. That's why the rear's so loose. It's bizarre. Insanely cold. Even though the bias is so far rearward. Not have expected that. Hey, what do you know? They're so good on the brakes, man. I'm just so bad. Not as good as them. Okay, yeah, Porsche rear brakes are definitely cold. Alright, let's do a little test here. Okay, on default setup, yeah. Gotta learn how to set up a car. I keep meaning to work on some setup guides and stuff, but just not have time. Always getting mugged at the start here. On hold.
Green light, show them what you got.
No choice, he's down the inside.
Got some light damage on the front.
Brakes are still ice. I had a little trouble with it as well. I wouldn't say it was the worst per se, but there's this giant freaking humps there. Struggling with the rear here.
There's some light damage on the left.
It was a little loose at the rear.
You're halfway through, keep pushing.
Yeah, this is a little understeer, you're right. Quite understeery.
Well done, mate. Russell best.
So good on the brakes, though. Whew. Been at this for a long time, 3 hours. Yeah, needs work. Yeah, the Aston. It was tricky. It wasn't too bad though. Lexus was fun. Jag's kind of slow. So, kind of final verdict, I think. Boatley, really like it. Not just now. GT-R, good car. Huracan, excellent. Audi, excellent, excellent. Ferrari, very good. Porsche, could be. Yeah, there's definitely setup's going to play a big role, I think, in a lot of these things. In nailing down a lot of the weird characteristics that are in there. Obviously, it's, circuit dependent and things like that. But yeah, that is all the cars. That's like 3 hours and 15 minutes of Assetto Corsa Competizione. And yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks everybody that subscribed, liked the stream. Down in the description is the link to my Discord channel. If you're not on there, come join us on Discord. Love to talk about racing, sim racing, and everything like that, or whatever. Talk about whatever. Lots of people are on there. Yeah, Sumerian, try out the Bentley and the Lexus. Those are two interesting cars. The 2018 Bentley, though, so good. And yeah, looks good too. I really like the look of it. Yeah, the whole stream is up there. You can see my opinions on the cars as it go. Definitely built my skill up some throughout it. So I really like the Porsche initially, but when it comes to pushing, it had some issues. Obviously, this is like a super short run, so it is going to be interesting to see how they do over the long run if we get some longer runs going. I did read in the notes that the first 3 to 4 laps are really the like max grip of the tire, and it starts to decrease. So setting the car up, need to do quite a few laps before we start making some changes. Really figure out what the car is doing on not just low fuel, but like deeper into the tire life. So that'll be interesting. I'm going to try and post more videos just of things about ACC. Going to try and install the telemetry stuff so that we can look at that. Motec has a specific like worksheet in the Motec viewer, data viewer for looking at telemetry data. So we'll take a look at that, and yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'm going to go eat some breakfast and go do some stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.